Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the NextGen Planners Podcast. I am Amelia Hamilton, and I am your host and your head of community here at NextGen Planners. And every week, I'm joined by a new, exciting, different guest from inside and outside of financial planning to talk about a whole host of different topics that might be interesting, valuable, exciting to you. And today is no different, as I am joined by the brilliant Harriet Davis from Evolve. Welcome, Harriet. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And I know you've listened to some of our previous podcasts, so I think you're probably aware of what the first question I'm going to ask you is. And that is for our audience to get some idea of who you are and what you do. Could you please explain what a day in the life of Harriet looks like?
It's a great first question. It's so different from any of the other openers, but because of the nature of the work that we do, so we do change management and project, my week to week doesn't even look the same, let alone day to day. But one thing that we do every day just to kick off is have a daily team stand up. And we call that a walk and talk. You don't have to be at your desk, but it's the way that I start every day is a catch up with my team. And it's just a way of us kind of reconnecting every day, setting our objectives and intentions and just checking in kind of on a personal level as a remote team. So that's how every day starts for me, and I love it. But otherwise, I have kind of three key responsibilities that I could be working on any given day. So my first most important is to look after my team. So, regular one-to-ones and helping them with whatever they're doing so that they can help our clients. The second is helping our clients when I'm needed. So that could be kind of on calls or helping create documents or doing research, things like that. And then the last bit is the bucket that I call just everything else, which is the things that actually grow a business as a founder. So sales, marketing, product development, and all of that stuff, like finances as well. So really could be so varied on a day to day.
Yeah, amazing. And I'm really interested actually in this daily stand-up meeting. Is that something that you've always done? Is it something that kind of has evolved over time? What prompted that to get people to not just sit at their desks and be on a Zoom meeting to start the day, but to be able to be, in lots of different places? Yeah, how did that come about?
It definitely evolved over time. And one of the things that we're quite mindful of as a remote first team is not having too many meetings, because I think sometimes you can think that's the default way to reconnect, but actually they end up taking up so much time out of your day. And so we kind of sit down semi-regularly to look at what we're doing and how we're working and whether we're connecting enough. And it started with we should have a daily stand up to raise if we've got any challenges, if we've learned anything new about the projects we're on and things like that. And then it just felt a bit kind of restrictive, and we all wanted to do it at the start of the day, but you don't always start at the same time. And so we changed it to kind of a walk and talk, which we probably do more walking in the summer. Sometimes in winter we call it a snack and chat because we're just sat at our desks eating breakfast. But yeah, you can be out kind of walking the dog or getting ready for the day, having your breakfast, making coffee, whatever it is that works for you in the morning. And it's just a really nice way to start the day without saying, you have to be at your desk at 9 o'clock, which obviously doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a great idea, especially because by the time you finish that, you feel like you're ready to then start the day, as opposed to, I'm sat, I've got a meeting and then I'm moving on to stuff. It's right. I've done something, I've been out, I've had my food, I know what I'm here to do, and now I'm ready to just kind of get settled into my day and start. So that sounds like a really a great kind of tip or something for other people to perhaps think about doing in their teams as well. And speaking of teams and team structures and how to manage those, that is really what we're going to be focusing in on today in this podcast. And we're going to address loads of different aspects of the team, of recruiting people and what that looks like, and making sure that you can get the best group of people together and how to make it the best it can be. And to start with, kicking things off, we're going to look at scaling your team. And so if there's people out there who perhaps are pondering, is it the right time for me to bring more people in? What kind of factors do you think someone should take into account when they're considering whether they're expansion? What should they be thinking about, and what indicators are there?
Yeah, so I have kind of two answers and two thoughts on this one. So when we're working with clients, we are normally going in because they want to launch a new product or service, or they've got growth objectives that they've brought us in to help with, basically. And in those cases, it's relatively straightforward. We're doing analysis with them to design the future state, and we're looking at what capacity they need to run this well, whatever this may be, and also what kind of capabilities they need in the business. And from the people angle, that's like skills and knowledge, basically. And so when we do the analysis, it's usually pretty clear cut. All right, you need 1 or 2 extra people, or you need to rejig someone's role to reaccount for this new thing. And so for those ones, it's really clear cut. Those are the factors, you know what you're doing. But as someone who personally runs a small business, I know that it can be harder to make that jump when you're not doing a big project or growth ambitions or anything like that, and you're just thinking about stable, steady growth and business development. And I have a very, very wonderful business coach, and one of the things that she said to me when I was thinking about going from, I think it was like my 2nd or 3rd hire, she said, if you wait until you need them, you've left it too late to hire. And it's so true, because you don't want to be kind of panic hiring. And I think that's the place that a lot of fellow business owners I've spoken to have found themselves in. But if you know where you want to go and where you want to be as a business, and you're clear on